Howdy folks, Nathan here with a classic TFL Buddy review, and today we have two different vehicles. We have a minivan and we have an SUV, and both of them are luxurious. So what we're going to do is we're going to compare the two. We're actually going to do walk-arounds, we're going to talk about the interior, do a little bit of performance, but before all of that starts, I need a buddy.
Nathan, can I be your buddy for this review?
Yes, indeed you can.
But before we do that, here's a word from our sponsor.
It took a while to get up here. We started out around 1959. But we didn't do all that just to get here. We did it to give you a truck that'll take you anywhere. This is the new Nissan.
All right, there we go. So let's continue on with what these vehicles are about. Now, first of all, we have the Pacific, I was going to say the Pacific Palisade, but it's actually the Pacifica and the Palisade. See, I'm a Californian at heart. Okay, that's the Hyundai Jesus! All right, let me try that again. That's the Hyundai Palisade calligraphy, right?
Yes, it's a very refreshed, brand new SUV crossover all-wheel drive.
All right, and this is the brand new Chrysler Pacifica, and this is the limited version, which is almost the top of the line model.
Also all-wheel drive.
That's right, so both
Yes.
of them have all-wheel drive, both of them have V6s, both of them can...
Nathan, I thought that was a sport version.
No, it's not.
It says S on it. See
No.
the big S on the thing there?
But it's a limited S.
See the big S?
Yeah, but, well, it's limited, and then there's an S there, too. So, yeah, according to this, it's a limited S appearance. I mean, if you want to go that far, but we weren't going to use this yet. So let's keep going, all right?
Keep going, yeah.
All right.
So-
First, we're going to talk about, I think, the Pacifica, so I can get this out of the way so I can stop messing up my words. Okay, so first of all, the Chrysler Pacifica. Now, we've done this minivan before, but I am a firm believer that minivans are overlooked by an awful lot of people because of the stigma. But this vehicle goes beyond that because it is more utilitarian, easier to drive, easier to get into, and easier to haul people in than that Hyundai, or really any other crossover that it competes against. Let me show you one thing that I'm talking about. Now, first of all, we're old men here at TFL. So being able to enter and exit, very easy.
We're not old. What are you talking about?
Case.
Case and Alex
And
and...
Tommy.
We don't have baby seats, but we
Okay.
could easily put them in there for the guys, little boosters for the little guys. It's very comfortable in here, more comfortable than the equivalent SUV. Why? Because you can simply drop your tush and you're in, no problem. Headroom is pretty good once you're in. Ta-da. And the ease of getting to the back row is actually remarkable. But there's more, because you can actually drop these seats into the floor. It's the stow and go seating. What that does is it allows for a completely flat floor, which gives you a remarkable amount of cargo space, more than anything else it competes against in terms of minivan versus SUV. And there's more. These racks up here, you can actually open them up and have the crossbars go across and connect. It works really well. It's very easy to do. And you also don't need a stepladder to do it. If you want to put cargo on top of a crossover, you need someone very tall to do it, even taller than you guys.
No. Well, let me show you, before we take the Pacifica on a drive, right?
Okay.
Because we need to do how quiet or loud that is. We need to do 0 to 60s. We need to do suspension testing. This is a new refreshed Palisade, and you could see it up front because it's got a brand new grille design. It's nice and blocky, new headlight treatment, and Nathan, look at this. Look at the detail, attention to detail on this Hyundai Palisade.
I'm not saying anything bad about it. I think it's fantastic. It's a good looking vehicle, although its cousin, the Telluride, is better looking.
And I think nobody, and I really mean that, nobody packs as much value into a vehicle as Hyundai can do. Take a look at the inside. It's got things and quality and materials and features that way more expensive vehicles usually have.
All right, well, that's great. But before we get into this, because once we're done driving this, then we'll talk about the technical components of this. But let's
okay.
talk about the engine and transmission. Here you go. Now, guess the name of this engine. 3 points to anybody who's watching this who can quickly guess it. Yes, you're right, Pentastar. So 262 horsepower, 3.6 liter V6 that makes 287 pound-feet of torque.
It's the other way around. It makes 287 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of
Hey,
torque.
Andre, I'm going to call this video raw and unedited, so just keep going.
I screwed up so bad on that?
You guys
Okay.
are going to see the...
Well, I was thinking
The
of
blemishes?
Exactly. So just keep going.
Okay, has an 8-speed automatic transmission, but unlike many other minivans, it does feed all 4 wheels. This does have all-wheel drive, and we've tested the all-wheel drive system. It works pretty good in this too. It can send a lot of the bias back to the rear wheels, 50-50 split. But many of you are asking, well, what about the plug-in hybrid? Yes, they have one, but no, it's not all-wheel drive. That's what makes this one unique and comparable to that vehicle, is the fact that this does have all-wheel drive.
And this engine is oldie but goodie, right? I mean, it's just durable and it's just
That's
there.
the point. It's been around for a million years. Now, combined MPG, and bear in mind this is not a light vehicle, 20 MPG. Not great.
Well, let
All
me
right.
just show you under the hood of the Palisade
Yeah, knock
before we
yourself
take
out.
it for a drive.
While you do that, I'm going to drop the hood on this.
Here, I'll hold.
Oh, he's got struts?
Now this,
Oh, that ticks me off.
it's also a V6. It's also not a hybrid. It also doesn't have any turbocharging. This is a 3.8 liter V6, 291 horsepower,
Yeah.
which happens to be 4 more than
4 more than this, but they had the same torque.
Yeah, 262.
Yeah.
8-speed automatic transmission.
Isn't that
And-
a 9-speed?
No, you have a 9-speed. And this is also kind of oldie but goodie, Nathan, because it doesn't have any fancy technology
Hey,
in
Nathan,
it.
if it were me, I'd leave the numbers to Andre.
I always leave the numbers to Andre. Sorry.
Do not mess with my numbers. my
Okay,
friend.
well, let's keep talking about this.
So
all right.
all-wheel drive as well.
Yeah.
So like we mentioned. So what do you think about this? I mean, should they have downsized the displacement on this engine, went to turbos and something fancy?
No, they should have gone to a hybrid.
Well, yeah.
They have a hybrid system that would work perfectly good in this. They have a plug-in hybrid system that would work perfectly good in this, and it would make it more efficient, probably similar horsepower numbers.
So maybe that's coming in the future.
I would imagine
Yeah.
so. Yeah, whether they like it or not, that's going to have to happen, right?
So what do you say? Should we take this for a
Well,
drive?
we should take this for a drive before I keep screwing up this video. This is all one take, folks, so yeah, Nathan's already blown 3 things.
Make sure you lock it, Andre.
Look at that. Ah, and see, Roman's going to fit in the back, and he doesn't have to adjust his hair or anything. Oh, okay. In we go.
So first, Nathan, I'm noticing a lot of similarities here because it's kind of a floating center console. And I'll show you later, the Palisade also has a floating center console.
Yeah, there is a big flaw here right off the bat,
What?
and that is the armrest.
What?
I think this one is gone.
Oh, it's
See,
not.
see how yours stays there?
Yeah.
This one doesn't. It
Okay.
goes all the way in and down.
Let's say it's a feature.
It's not, the fan won't stop. There it goes, it's just going slow. It's not a feature because it won't lock in any other position like some other vehicles will. Now, very important numbers, I want to read these to you because I don't want to screw this up like I have everything else. Cargo space in this is 140.5 cubic feet. That's an important number
Which
to
is
remember.
crazy big.
That's crazy big. That's bigger than almost anything other than, say, a full-size Suburban. And it's really close to a full-size Suburban. The reason is because all the seats in the back fold flat. But Zach, our producer, pointed this out, that behind the second row where Roman's sitting, if
Yeah.
we fold the third row flat, 87.5 cubic feet of cargo space, which is still more than your maximum.
Yeah, that is great. I can't believe that. I think it also has to do with the floor is low,
And the roof is
the
high.
roof is pretty high, and
Right.
it's a long vehicle. So
Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I love this van. It does a lot of things very well, but I like the Toyota better. Simple reason.
yeah, what?
You get a standard hybrid powertrain with it, and it gets ridiculously good mileage. This does not. And you can get all-wheel drive for, I think it's like less than $2,000 more with that van. This van, when we're done with this video, we are going to talk about pricing, and it's kind of sobering. Bear in mind, though, that you are getting a luxury lined vehicle. These seats are remarkably comfortable. It's pretty close to a luxury version of a minivan, right, as far as I'm concerned?
Yeah, and you know what I would call this too, the minivans in general? It's really like the road trip, the king of road trips.
Okay.
Because you have comfort, you have, room on the inside, and it's quiet and nice and powerful.
This is the ultimate family hauler. I will say that.
Yeah.
I really would have a hard time driving this on a day-to-day basis, listening to chill, but apparently Roman was driving this.
Yeah.
It has a massive panoramic sunroof too. It has, you want to hit that?
I'm trying. There it goes.
And there's really one huge thing about this van over, say, that something like the Toyota, but not so much the Honda or the Kia. By the way, the Kia builds a fantastic minivan as well. I like the handling on this. It's a great mix. Throwing it around a corner, it actually holds quite well. It's not a sports car, but it doesn't feel very tippy. And I think the ride is smooth. And there's a funny thing, you know, some people poo-poo FCA and Stellantis quality, but their minivans are known to be pretty robust. Just saying.
And they've been making these for many, many years. And it came from the Caravan before that,
Oh, yeah,
of course.
yeah. In the United States, the oldest minivans really were Chrysler-based, other than, say, the Volkswagen bus, which for some reason people don't think is a minivan.
It's kind of a micro bus.
Sort of. I consider it the first real minivan here in the States, and then other people will be like, oh no, in 1932 there was a special Dymaxion or whatever, but no, it's like, nah, I'm not going there. Okay, first thing we're going to do is test the sound, then we're going to do 0 to 60, but we're just going to
And also suspension testing later, right? I think you saw that. That's remarkable. Between 59 and 62 decibels while you were accelerating. That's very quiet.
And acceleration is very smooth. It doesn't really feel like it's very jerky or anything else like that. They really did dial in the 9-speed. Remember when we first started driving their vehicles with 9 speeds and they were very jerky?
Yeah.
And they had a search for
and that's
gear.
programming, sometimes imperfections, right?
I think that they really solved it moving up to this vehicle, even though we're probably not going to see these for very much longer before they all go hybrid and electric. But as it is, it's very quiet.
Yeah, and I'm pleasantly, I'm not surprised, but it's nice that they're keeping this in the lineup.
Okay, let's try something. I'm going to try Roman's thing. Navigation.
Where would you like to go?
Snarfs. What? I'm not going to... Okay, you're done. You're done. We're good. We're good. You don't have to talk.
You found it.
No, it found it immediately. That's actually really good. So it's a high... Okay, it's still doing it. Okay, now we're going to do a 0 to 60 once we get over here.
Yeah, and we have our solid DL.
Yeah, highway road that we can use.
Cancel it, guys. It's still listening. Cancel.
Canceled.
I really don't like his voice.
I think they were recording it and sending it to the headquarters in Michigan.
Something tells me they weren't. But most importantly, the guy's voice is irritating. All right, let's get a little bit further forward. So these vehicles are different. We acknowledge gearing and all that. It's probably very different between a minivan and a crossover, especially because the crossover is built to do some light off-roading, right? Mm-hmm. This is not. This is built strictly to be a daily driver in occasionally foul environments. So,
and by the way, here's the MPG. While you're setting up, Nathan?
Yeah, 20 combined.
20 combined, 17 city, 25 highway.
So, Roman, what do you think? Right about here?
Yeah, just do it now. You're going to get in the residential area.
Yeah, before residential. Gotcha. Okay, here we go.
Yep.
Oh, we all reset that. There it goes. Okay, here we go. Well, that was a leisurely takeoff, but
And that's 3 people in the car.
Yep. What, is it still going?
It's still going.
Well, according to my speedometer, I was over.
We did not get a number. So next time.
Is this thing on quarter mile?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, for crying out loud.
It took us 21 seconds to go unknown distance.
I was like, I swear to God. Okay. Roman, should we go and do that whole thing again then? Because we didn't do the hula girl either.
Ooh.
Whoa.
She almost crashed.
You know,
we need to start this whole thing over.
I don't think people care about a 0 to 60 in a minivan. To be honest, Nathan.
Yeah,
so,
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, let's just do the hula girl. Let's just skip to the hula girl.
Okay. You want to pull her out?
Well, once we get going.
Oh, okay.
You know, there's that saying, leave something undone so that you have a reason to come back. So.
Yeah, I think we might have a reason to come back.
And you know what we're going to do with this minivan, right? Why don't you tell them what the plan is so we can do a 0 to 60 there?
Yeah, we're gonna drag race it. Just because.
Because
Andre, cool girl.
that's what
cool
it's
girl.
meant for.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see how much she dances while we're going over some rougher terrain.
Uh-huh.
And by rougher terrain, I mean some expansion joints in the pavement.
Yeah, which is pretty much all we got here. She moved a little. I think, considering the size of the wheels in this thing and its overall driving dynamics, it's really dialed in for ride.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, I would rate it if 10 is the best and 1 is the worst. This is closer to the top for me, like a 9.
Yeah,
for me.
I would give it. The only reason
Andre, you rated it backwards from all the other videos we've done.
Oh, I did go back.
He made a mistake. Yes, Nathan's not the only one who made a mistake.
So 1 is the best?
10 is the worst. Yes, you've done.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, we've done it now for 20 years or whatever, the other way. So I guess if you want to start a new funny tradition, that's the way to do it.
So I would say 2. Near the best.
All right, I would say between a 2 and a 3. The only reason I give it a slightly lower number is because I can hear road noise, and I consider that part of the whole thing.
Yeah, you're right. There is some tire noise coming
And
through.
it's not enough to really register on the probe, but I can hear it, and it's noticeable to me. So I give it just a minor mark off for that.
Great ride, though.
Really good
It's
ride.
nice.
Excellent ride.
I switched it to 0 to 60, by the way.
Thank you.
I
Yeah.
think. Why don't you have them come back for the drag race to get that number? 'Cause
Yeah.
we'll drag race both of them,
Yeah.
Okay.
And
okay.
we'll know
so,
for sure.
So we can shut that down then. We don't really.
We'll know for sure.
Yeah.
and we'll do it safely on a closed course. You should repeat what I'm saying because no one can hear it.
Yeah. So we're gonna hold off on the 0 to 60s, which we normally do, and we're going to put that together when we do our track test, and then you guys will see 0 to 60 and which one's faster in a drag race, which is going to be fraught with laughter.
I think this is fraught with laughter.
No, I'm not laughing. No, I'm not laughing at all.
All right. I'm just not on my game today. All right, here we go. See, I mean, did you feel how nice and
Yeah.
it's just it really
And that-
does.
I think it's a functional wheelbase, too.
Yeah, which is
'cause
a
this-
very long wheelbase.
Yeah, wheelbase is nice.
And there's one final positive note about this, and that is butt height. So,
Excuse me?
when you get in and out of this vehicle, you really are not falling in a car, nor are you lifting your butt up to get into a car. It's pretty close to being ideal.
Just left here, yeah,
Yep.
park it left. And then we should open up the back, show them how much room is in the
Yep,
back.
I will do that.
And we'll show both of them.
Nice.
All right, so we are parked, and is it this one? No,
For the doors?
for the rear. There it is.
Yeah.
I guess we could just leave this solo here. It's an important note. They made sure that they could actually hold a 4x8 piece of ply in here, which is great. And then, let me see if this has.
Wait, what?
That is
Do you have
a-
a vacuum?
That's a blow and go. Yeah, it's a great name. It's a great name. It's probably not a good name.
Stow and vac?
It's the vacuum. Not everybody has it, and it's good for spilling Cheerios. Yeah, so and popcorn apparently. So I guess that name's probably going to get edited out, but I think it's pretty damn funny. But
Once again, raw and unedited, Nathan. So
I know. I wasn't even trying to be facetious. I thought it was being funny. Okay, so
Andre, look to your right hand before you start pulling on stuff. Look at your right there.
Okay. So I have to stow?
there you go. That dropped the head. There it is.
Wait, it's powered?
Well, of course, it's a luxury vehicle that you're paying ridiculous money for.
No, but I'm used to tumbling this myself.
Well, apparently you get to watch the show, which takes a while.
This is impressive.
It is cool that it does this, but it's also really slow. But look at that, completely flat.
So where's the other part of the vacuum? Where's the other part? Where's the part that
Well,
actually
knowing that
sucks?
other journalists
here.
have
It's right
taken
here.
it.
So this is
There it goes.
this is the hose, the main
Oh,
part
yeah,
of the
there you go.
hose.
There.
Very nice.
There you go.
So, is that useful? The answer is yes. Both Andre and I have 2 kids. And I know Tommy was perfect. He never dropped a single thing when he was in the backseat in a little tiny. Can you imagine Tommy in a little tiny seat? He would probably, oh my God, I dropped a little tiny thing. My kids are like, throw it everywhere. We have a really good video. I thought it was really good with the Kia Carnival. And that shows what happens when you don't have a vacuum.
All right, let's go do the other one.
All right, let me show you the beauty of the Hyundai Palisade.
I do like those wheels. I mean, I don't like black wheels very often, but I think they look really slick on this.
All right, let's go do the other one.
Okay, Hyundai time.
So, the reason we're doing this, we're on Unedited, is because I got a new phone. I got the iPhone 14 here, so I want to really give it a workout.
Okay, he's giving it a workout and he's having fun with us.
Before, Tommy already called me in the middle of this video.
Oh, that's perfect. Well, the important thing is that you guys get to see, this is kind of behind the scenes, how often we really do screw up.
So look at this. So Roman was showing you kind of the rear shades in the Pacifica.
Yeah.
I mean, Palisade has a lot of other features. They're very similar features, in fact.
Actually, the interior is even similar, in terms of the way the trim looks with the piping.
I already screwed something up. Hold on. There.
Get back here.
And yes, Nathan, like you were saying, there's not quite as much space back
Also,
here.
look at the liftover. You're almost a foot higher lifting something up in here, right?
Oh, I also have buttons. Look at this.
Yeah. Oh, and now you're going to be like, oh, look at mine do all these other
But
things.
it's also fairly slow.
And also, it just folds forward. Mine does an origami flip.
Yeah, I gotta give it to the Pacifica on
Yeah.
that. So overall, if I fold all second and third row down, it's about 86-ish, 87 cubic feet, which is like you were saying.
Yeah, and that's with all the rows. I do like this storage area under here.
It is nice. And the other thing is, well, this one has a little cover here on the back where the hitch would go back here. It will tow up to 5,000 pounds when properly equipped.
Right, and also I think you have the special leveling suspension in the rear with the higher end models.
So us trucky guys, that's what I would prefer.
Yeah, it's $1,500 more than what you could do with
Let's
Pacifica.
go for a ride.
All right, let's do it. Let me move this back. Close this up.
So, Roman, are you more comfortable in the back of this or the Chrysler, honestly?
Chrysler.
Yes, okay, see, I win.
You should repeat it, because once again, I'm not Mike.
Yeah, well, they heard you.
Okay.
Yeah, trust me, they heard you, because he said Chrysler is more comfortable, and he's the boss, and so you already lost, I'm sorry.
Okay, well, Nathan.
Oh, and also you've got this, I'm sorry. I really do like Hyundai products. I think they've come so far, and they've got a lot of great gizmos, but I do not like the push button.
So I do have a push button transmission, like you were saying.
Yeah.
But look, look at the quality. I also have massaging seats. Does the Pacifica have massage?
I don't think they massage.
Okay, see, that's an issue.
Yeah.
That's an issue. I have ventilated seats, heated steering wheel.
Can we show something on
what?
camera
What?
before we get moving? So hit the brakes, hit your left turn signal. There you go.
I do have cameras.
I love that. I absolutely adore that.
How about fuel economy? We've got them in Roni.
So it's about the same. It's about the same.
I think
20 combined. So
20
check it out. Actually, no.
you're 21 combined.
21 combined. So slightly better. 25.
Do you know
Highway
why?
19.
One of the reasons why?
What?
Because my vehicle weighs over 500 pounds more than yours.
How did they manage that?
Well, because it's a minivan, and as such,
It's
structural.
larger, yeah.
It's a bigger vehicle in certain ways, and Hyundai is pretty good at saving weight on certain vehicles.
But they're not saving on features. Look, suede headliner, very comfortable.
Well, this isn't the calligraphy, although that is not a panoramic sunroof, is it?
No, it's not.
Wah, wah.
Why don't you open up the front one and get some lighted?
Bam! Take a look at that.
You're okay on my side.
Okay. I also have drive modes. I know Pacifica may have a couple of modes.
It's got a couple, but it doesn't have like this.
I have 5. So I do have a center locker for the all-wheel drive system, so that's
Right.
pretty important. I have snow mode, smart, sport, and comfort. I'm going to go into sport because we will be... Oh, we're not actually accelerating.
No,
are we?
not only that, but oh, there she is.
Well, you should test the sound when you're accelerating.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Just like I did. Okay, this
You have
little
the sound
thing.
meter?
Yeah, I do. That little purse section there is really low.
But it's
Seats-
still a floating center
You know, I
console.
think the seats might actually
You
be
know what I
more.
love, Nathan? Hit that little button on that thing. How cool is that?
And look at
That's
this.
cool.
Roman, can you show up here? Look at my cup holders. Bam! Bam!
That
look
is
at
cool.
this.
That is cool. I can't, and I'm not even trying to do a tit for tat.
Hey, I also have, Nathan, I also have cooled and heated seats back here.
No way.
Yeah, all four.
And actually heated third row.
Is it heated third row?
Yeah, this is insane. This is what I'm saying when I say
There's so much
Palisade.
value that they pack in these things.
Yeah, there's a lot of value.
You know.
All right, we're gonna get going. We're gonna give you a kind of a sound test first. I am in sport mode, and it's gonna be kind of the loudest mode.
Yeah. I'll hit it after you run over the bicyclist.
I'll try not to run anybody over.
Okay. I'm just pointing out that he's there.
Well, what do you think about the front seats, comfort-wise?
Yeah, they're more comfortable.
They are?
Yeah. But it doesn't have an armrest, even a broken one.
Okay, so let's do this acceleration and sound test.
Okay. It's definitely louder in here. I would say you average between 61 and 65 would be the average.
It was also kind of leisurely, I would say. The acceleration was not neck snapping.
They do feel very different in terms of takeoff, but this one takes off a little bit quicker. I could just tell you right off the bat, the other one's a little bit more leisurely about getting into first gear and really getting into the full boil.
Let me go to comfort mode so we can test the suspension later.
Does that affect the suspension, or is it just acceleration and turning?
Hey guys, I'm hungry.
Oh yeah, do it.
Roman is hungry.
Yeah, do it.
Navigation.
Move to navigation map
Turn the
screen.
volume.
Let me try again. Navigate to snarfs.
7 results bound. Please say the line number.
Yeah.
Line 1.
I would say they're about the same amount of time.
To this location.
No.
7 results bound. Please say
Can you turn up the volume when she talks?
I couldn't figure that out, so I couldn't.
It didn't work just by turning up the volume?
Correct.
On the radio? Really?
Yeah, correct. We tried.
I think you have to do an individual volume control for your voice.
So I would say
They're about the same.
both systems are pretty good, and
Yeah.
natural speech. You
Yeah.
know, I was actually said it naturally.
She
and
has a better voice than the Chrysler one.
I think you could choose voices.
Hopefully.
Couldn't you choose like a celebrity to talk to you or something?
Mr. T would be my favorite. I pity the fool who don't make it right. That would be just phenomenal.
All right, are you ready? No, we're not going to be testing the hula girl here.
Yeah, right here. Test it here, because this is actually a worse road.
All right,
Yeah,
let's
it
try
is, but it's not okay. We didn't do it in the Chrysler, so.
It's okay. It's raw and unedited.
Wow. So I'm going to hit every pothole I can find. But you know what?
Tire noise is less in this than it is in the Chrysler. I can tell you that right now. Although this does feel like a little bit more jerky.
Herky-jerky?
Jerky, just a little bit more.
Well, it's a smaller vehicle overall. The wheelbase is not quite
And it's
as
lighter.
large.
Sometimes heavier vehicles. I mean, if we were in the Hummer, if it ever ran, we would be able to run down the road and we wouldn't feel anything because it's crushing the pavement.
Right. So I would rate it as a 3, slightly worse than the Pacifica, but still quite good overall.
I think I'll agree with you there. 3 it is. And now she sticks. Is it
She's
because-
staying.
Well, because I was hanging with her and she's happy. So, in terms of road noise, this one actually
bit
is better.
Yeah.
Ride, it's just under. I caught her. It's just under the Pacifica, but handling. We've gone around a couple corners already, and I can tell you that the Pacifica is definitely flatter and it doesn't feel as tippy. Not that this is tippy, but you know what I mean. The difference is pretty noticeable. It's the difference between a car and a truck almost, right?
Yeah, and I would say so, and I think they did a good job, sprucing this up
a great looking
for this
interior.
latest model year.
I love the digital stuff they did inside with the turn signals. I just adore that.
So the final question, of course, comes down to price, and we can mention it as soon as we get back.
I'll mention it now. We got some time.
Okay.
All right. So, how much is this vehicle roughly?
So this is about 53,000.
Now, that means the one I'm driving, the Chrysler, without its extra options, is around the same, but I have some extra options, which puts mine close to 57,000. both prices are insane when you think about what they really are. So yeah, 5752. It's a $5,000 difference between this and the. Wow, that is just insane.
But if you didn't have that special, S package,
Right,
in the
then it would,
Pacifica,
yeah.
it would be close on price.
But what's nuts is that the Pacifica, this is the very top of the line on this one.
Yeah.
Right, the calligraphy is as high as you go. The Pacifica does have one additional step. You can go up even higher, and that one is even more expensive. It's close to $60,000.
Yeah, and also you can do a plug-in hybrid too.
Right, but
in
the
the
plug-in
Pacifica.
hybrid is a whole different thing, and
Yeah.
there's different options that are available with it, and certain things that it can and cannot do.
Right.
The biggest issue with the hybrid is the fact that A, no all-wheel drive, and then B, you can't do the stow and go because the battery's under the floor. And they fully acknowledge that. Actually, out of all of them, I'd buy that,
What is it?
the Buick.
The Buick?
See the Buick wagon?
Yes.
Roman and I love those. But they don't make anymore because Buick doesn't build cars. Anyway, I think, I already know which one I would choose out of the two of them. Just in terms of value.
Which one? I mean, if they were identical in price.
Yeah, and they can be pretty close, but this one. I live in Colorado, and I do occasionally go to places where there's deep snow, and I would like that extra ground clearance. And this thing has like 4 extra inches on it. But I'm getting
I think
old.
it's 4 extra inches. Is it 4?
It's pretty noticeable.
Really?
Oh yeah.
That seems like a lot.
You should put them next to each other, Roman. The Chrysler is like slammed.
This is like the Raptor of crossovers.
Yeah, just park. You can park next to it, and we can quickly see. But I guarantee you, it's several inches higher in this one. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be any better in the snow or anything else like that, unless it's deep snow. Then you want that height. That's the only reason. Also, I've taken these off road before, and the lock actually kind of works.
So you're surprising me because I thought you were going to say the Pacifica.
I love the Pacifica, and if it were a price war thing and they were both base models and all-wheel drive versus all-wheel drive, I think the Pacifica would come out on top. But where we are in price, in terms of the tech that you get in this versus the tech you get in the Chrysler, I think this is a better choice. Just me. That Chrysler's great, but this is better.
And
Look how low that front end is, Roman. Come on.
that chin is low. That's a low chin. I would pick, you know what? I'll pick the Palisade. Let me tell you why outside.
Okay. Should I carry the hula girl?
You don't have to.
I'll let her be. Groping her all ridiculous. All right.
Right here, so you can show.
The easiest way to show it is probably from the side. So you can see how low this goes here. My hand is at the very bottom here. And there's also an extra lip. So my hand is right about here, down here. And this one, this lip here, that's it, is about 2 or 3 inches difference. I didn't do that.
No, but that shows you just how much lower it is. Like somebody already hit it. Look.
Yeah,
And
Somebody actually hit that already.
and it wasn't us.
it wasn't us.
It wasn't us.
But if you're, even if you're parking or whatever, and you look how low the front end of this is, and I always need a little bit of ground clearance. That's just, I'm thinking practical in terms of this.
All right, so buy it,
Everything
lease
else
it,
about
rent
this
it.
is good though.
Buy it, lease it, rent it, or forget it.
Buy it, lease it, rent it, forget it for both of them.
Okay, I should go first.
Yeah.
I'll give this a rent it, I'll give this a buy it.
Ooh, wow.
Yep.
Okay, I would say if I was doing more road trips, which I'm not right now,
Pick one.
lease
pick
it,
one.
lease it,
Okay.
and still buy it. I think the value you just saw. I think it's
the
hard to
value.
argue with.
That's what gets me.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, I'm not going to pay nearly $50,000 or $60,000 for a minivan. I'm sorry, no matter what. And I know for a fact that there are less expensive ones that offer as much bang for the buck, maybe not as luxurious looking. That's my issue. It's a really good vehicle otherwise.
All right. Here's the answer.
Yeah.
Here's the answer. Buy it for the Palisade. Buy it for the Pacifica. But if it were my money, I'd go for the Pacifica. I just love this minivan. It's so underrated and so underappreciated. It does so much. And even though it's expensive, it's still a hell of a good vehicle. That's my take.
Well, he's the boss, and so
There you
we're
go.
both wrong. As such, we all agree. Say Roman's right.
Roman's right.
Roman's right.
Of course.
Roman's right.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah. Buy it.
It's hard to argue with the Pacifica on the road trip, but no Palisade.
It's Roman.
Okay, well, thank you guys. As always, oltfl.com is where you can find everything automotive in one place from TFL.
Yeah, we didn't really pick a great place to park these, did we?
No, it's a crap place.
It is
We
bad.
screwed up everything.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry. We're on Unedited.
This is why we do multiple takes.
Yes.
So this is what not to do.
Yeah.
This
Here you go. But the problem is everybody does one takes now.
this is what not to do.
We're not really good at one takes.